Hello, everyone. Phantom Atheist here. So, I want to talk about a little controversial subject, the Me Too movement. You know, the Me Too movement was started on all the right reasons with Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Kevin Spacey, and a few others. But also, there's a downside to the Me Too movement. There's been a lot of people using the Me Too movement to attack people that really haven't done nothing bad. They just didn't like them. Prime example, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Heard used the Me Too movement to literally destroy Johnny's career, which she did. But what happened? He turned around about a year ago. He went after her in the lawsuit, defamation, and guess what? He won and proved that she was the actual perpetrator in that relationship. And yes, Johnny Depp was no angel either, but it just showed how evil and vindictive and brutal she was towards him. You know, it's always hard to believe anybody when they come up with some kind of accusation of somebody doing something. Because of this, you don't know if it legitimately happened to them or they could be lying about it. It's hard to know that now. And people are using the Me Too movement to say, "Oh, you got to believe these women. You got to believe this person. You got to believe that person." The problem is, you should have some form of, maybe they're not telling the truth here. I want to see the evidence before I, go half cock and believe somebody. So that's just the thing. People don't look at the evidence. They don't see the proof. They don't see nothing. They just go and say, "Okay, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you." You just can't do that. You know, this goes to the Andrew Tate situation. So last night, I think her name is Elijah Blue or Elizabeth Blue, whoever she wants to go by, was on Timcast IRL last night, and she was asked point blank, does she 100% believe these victims? She didn't answer that. She says, "I believe all victims." That's the problem. How can you really believe somebody? Especially, she read this statement last night and she got like choked up, like close to the end of it. And I just be honest with you, with her on there was just so many red flags that came up last night for me. And she didn't like it that when Tim told her that, you know, just because Andrew Tate said this and said that, and a lot of times, he was took out of context, you can't really take that with a grain of salt, right? And she got really defensive where Tim was talking more about the Epstein case, which we know the victims. We know who they are. We know who most of the people that went to the island and flew on those planes were. But yet, she kept on harboring that, there's only 2 victims, more to come, but they're afraid for their lives. And then she kept on saying they were kids, young kids. The problem is, how old were these women? Please, will somebody look it up, find out, and let me know. How old were these women? If he did it, he deserves to be under the jail. But if this is bullshit to go after somebody because They don't like him because of what he talks about. That's more bullshit. And last night she said that she was talking to someone from last summer, right? Last summer. That's kind of weird, though. I mean, to me, if they were talking to this person and the authorities where he's at are doing an investigation, then why is it when they detained him, they turned around and wanted him to stay detained to get more evidence? There's too many red flags going on here. And it's getting weirder and weirder for me, guys. At the end of the day, it's getting harder and harder to believe victims when you have people running around here and pretending to be victims to get notoriety, clout, fame, over something that probably never happened. Now, I'm not saying stuff didn't happen. Stuff probably did happen. But the problem is you don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. People have used the Me Too movement for good and bad. But there's been a lot more bad than good. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. And I will see you on the next one. I am Phantom Atheist. And I'll see you later. Good night, everybody.